Wow everybody, it's March and we're kicking along greatly this year, and we're doing the Rainbow Crush for the month of March, which is green this month. Hi everybody, it's Kathy here and we're going to go on with our layout. So as you can tell, I'm going with green, and I have found these photos of my second son, and he was about 3 or 4 in these photos, and they're the ones I'm going to use today. So I've got together a whole lot of branding strips that are in the greens, and I've got some cut aparts that I'm going to use. And look at that adorable face. Isn't he just a cutie? He was so cute when he was little. So that's my second son, or my second youngest. So I'm now going to prepare my base as I always do, and I'm going to cut out these papers down to 12 by 12 because they're out of a pad, and I want to make sure that they are ready to go. After I've done that, I'm going to trim down the dark green one, and then I'm going to fold it because I want to cut out a triangle. And the reason I cut a triangle is I want it to have like a peekaboo from underneath. So I'm going to take out that triangle, and then I'm just going to roll back the edges, and that's going to be like a shirt front maybe, or something like that. It's a peekaboo front. So I'm then going to distress the edges just to lift it up and give it some dimension off the layout, and then that will give it that distressed look. Just to make sure the corners are all curling up. Now I do want to use some of the under colour to match that photo, so I'm just going to trim out a panel that is going to be covered by the green, and that will allow me to matte my photo and create a tag to match. And I contemplated cutting out another one, but I decided not to. So I'm just going to take this down, and I was watching Narelle the other day, and she showed me how she puts hers down with the fold out on the tape, and I thought, what a great idea, so I'd give it a go. And I'm just doing exactly what Narelle did, where she just tucked out the corners to the middle and then left those tabs to pull it out. And look at that, smooth as. What a great idea. And now I'm just going to matte this photo, and I contemplate turning it over to the black, but I'm going to keep with the greens because greens are the colour for the month. And Tara, the paper snob, who runs and coordinates this hop, has stipulated green, so I'm going to stay with the green. And we have to use at least 75% green. I tend to use 90 to 100%. We are allowed to use a little bit of white and a little bit of black. That allows for us to match things and label things and so forth. So you can see here, I'm just going to place down my photos, put them into place, and then I can build my layout from there. So I'm just going to tuck things and play with it for a little bit until I'm happy with the configuration. I like these cut aparts. They're very good. They support the colours of the layout and the month. And then I'm going to just tuck down some of these branding strips that I've saved from previous papers and previous layouts, just to build a feature down the side so that those cut aparts have a landing point. And I'm going to just trim them down to 11.5 so that they fit nicely on the page. So that's a good idea with your branding strips. That's why I keep them. You can just use them to fill in parts of your layouts like I'm going to do today. I also have cut out a whole lot of printables in the greens, and they all came from Scrap Sketch, and they all tie in nicely with this colour scheme. So I'm just going to tuck just to build some layers and build some interest around the layout. And a lot of this layout is about building layers. So as you can see here, I'm just layering up some more of those strips, and that's just a landing point, as I said, for these cut aparts from a piece of paper that I got from a pad of paper. And I'm going to dress this tag that I made, and I'm going to use a bit of this thread, which is it's more of a light khaki colour, and I'm tying in a little bit of a bow at the top there. I don't want it to be too fussy with the bow. And now I can put the layout together because the bulk, all the bones of it are in place. Now, as I said, I'm just going to start tucking and layering, and that usually requires me to manipulate around a few times. And I want this photo here to pop up because I have that one at the back nice and flat, and this one here will add dimension and come forward. Look at that cheeky face. Who wouldn't love that little boy? He's 22 this year. Can you believe it? So much time between. And I love these photos. I did scrap a big one of that bottom photo many years ago. But I found these ones the other day when I was cleaning out a drawer, and I thought, no, I need to do them. They're so cute, and they tied in beautifully with the colour scheme for this month. So I'm just going to, as I said, tuck these pieces of banners and layer them up in behind the photos. I've got lots of little bits of ephemera that I'm tucking in, and then I have this little quote here which is relevant, and I've taken it from another branding strip, and that's another great thing about the branding strips. They have good quotes, especially the Craft ones. They are so very apt for lots and lots of different places. And this one says, because of you, I laugh a little harder, cry a little less, and smile a lot more. So that's so true. He makes us laugh. He is the funniest person. And when he's on a roll, his wit and his humour is outstanding. Like, we just roll with laughter. He's so funny. He's always been a funny little boy, and even as he's gotten older, it's even more so. So, and he's the one that loves Willa, and Willa loves him. So he's a funny, soft person, even though he's a giant. He's a giant now, so big. But anyway, he's a gentle giant. I'm just tucking these stickers on. They are clear acetate stickers, and they are of leaf or foliage, which is great because it's allowing me to build some height and some clustering. And I'm just going to tuck a couple here behind up the top as well to extend the photos and the eye up the page, which allows you to look from the bottom to the top or the top to the bottom. And then I'm just going to build clusters around them. Now I have this little quote here also from another branding strip that says, live well, laugh lots, or love lots. Live well, love well. Live lots, love well. That's what it says, sorry. And that's what I'm just tucking in there. And it's another little green feature to the layout. I'm going to put these little labels into place, and they are also for more layering on this layout, and I just like how it's adding depth and interest to what you're seeing. I'm just going to tuck a little bit over here to the right of the mushroom just to finish off that line so it doesn't look funny. And now I can use what's left of this one to create two little fishtail banners that will go across the top and the bottom of this quote, so that it looks like it all ties together and is part of the overall layout instead of just sitting there. So I'm loving how this is coming together. There's lots of different things to look at, lots of different layers and features to draw your eye around the layout. And now I'm just going to tuck in some hearts in the greens, and I've got a couple more labels to tuck in at the top there to build that little bit of a cluster up. I have fussy cut out these letters from the printables. That's XOXO, hugs and kisses, and I'm just putting that there on top of the photo, and that's filling that empty space in that photo. And then I can just layer up these hearts, which I put into a set of 5 up here. And then I've got the 2 down on the pocket type cut apart. And that's really drawing your eye around and filling up all that space. But I love how all the different greens are reflected in the photos and carried through into the layout. And it just has come together so well. I really am taken with this one. I like it. I like it a lot. I contemplate building up a cluster down there at the bottom, but then I decide not to. But I go back and I tuck that leaf in underneath so that I'm a bit more happier with that. And I really do think that it's coming together nicely. And I play around with an extra heart. And this is one of the things I do when I'm building a layout like this, is that I just keep adding until I'm happy with it. And sometimes it comes together really easily with a little bit of adding, and then other times it comes together with almost nothing on the layout. So it just depends what gets called for when you put it together. So I'm happy with how that all looks. And then, of course, I'm going to finish off with my nouveaux. Now I'm looking where I'm going to put these, and I want them to be discreet, but I also want them to be part of that visual triangle to draw your eye quite subtly around the layout. And there we have this one that's come together quite nicely. I have these little quotes here that I just want to put across these 2 areas with the labels, just to fill them so that they're not so stark and standing out just there. So I found 2 more little quotes that I'm just going to add in, and that also ties into the black that is up the top in the quote in the panel. So that balances it out with the 3 of those as well. And that just takes that starkness of those labels from being just sitting there bare. And there it is. It's so cute. It says, "You are magic and stay wild, Moonchild." So I just love that photo, his face. It's just classic. That's exactly what he was like. So thank you once again, everybody, for staying around and watching this video. I hope that there's something here that inspires you to get crafty today. Don't forget, there's a full playlist link down below of all the people that are playing along with this Rainbow Crush with Tara, the paper snob, who always coordinates such a good pop. Thanks, Tara, for putting in all the effort and keeping us on track. I love the inspiration of green. It's not a colour I use a lot, but I do love how it turned out. Thanks, everybody, for watching. Happy scrapping till next time, and here's my next video for you. I'll see you in the next one.